So I realized the other day that I have actually never given you guys a tour of the Adventure Us Jeep JK here. Um, I know that when we all get a Jeep, most of us anyway, we want to accessorize it. We want to customize it. We want to change the wheels and tires and add bumpers and everything else to it. But doing that without a purpose in mind can cost you a lot of time, money, and frustration. So I'm going to go through my Jeep and show you all of the things that I've done to it from top to bottom, front to back, and let you know why I did the things that I've done, some of the mistakes that I've made over time, and why I think that this is the best vehicle for me. All right, so let's just get right into it. So in the front, a couple of changes that I made were the headlights. That was the first thing that I did to this vehicle. The stock ones are absolute trash, and these are phenomenal. It's the JKU speaker J2 series, and I think they have J3 and maybe even J4 out by now. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal LED technology, and it's fantastic. For the front bumper, I decided to go with the Smittybilt XRC. You'll see that in my fenders front and rear as well. I did that because of affordability, but also I really like the overall styling of it. It worked really well, fit my factory fogs, or not factory fogs, but fit the JKU speaker fog lights really well, and it keeps my winch, which is a Warn VR10S phenomenal winch, it keeps it tucked down so I can have as much airflow as possible when driving down the highway, because this is my daily driver. I did make a change to the hood latches as well. These are the Rugged Ridge aluminum hood latches. I got those because the rubber ones, the factory ones, would cause my hood to bounce when going down the highway at 75, 80 miles an hour. I'm sure a lot of you with Jeeps have experienced that, and this just keeps the hood down, locked nice and tight. All right, so moving on the side, I have Falcon series shocks. They are adjustable and they're absolutely phenomenal shocks. Had some Fox Adventure series 2.0 shocks in there as well. It was a really great ride, but the adjustability of these Falcons is second to none. I absolutely love it. I actually have, this is an Ace Engineering inner fender liner. I just like the look of it. It didn't really provide a whole lot of protection over what was in there stock wise, but I think it looks pretty cool. I do have the TerraFlex quick disconnect sway bar links, if I can get in there to show you that. So they disconnect right here. If I can even get in there you go. So they disconnect on the bottom, and then they come up and latch right here, so it's really easy to connect and reconnect, or disconnect and reconnect on the road. Carrying on the Falcons, I do have the Falcon stabilizer there with a TerraFlex heavy duty drag link, and I also have a 1-ton tie rod across the end with the TerraFlex ends. Just absolutely one of the best performance upgrades that I've made to this Jeep so far. You'll also see this is a Jeep Sahara, or it started as one, but I have the TerraFlex HD Dana 44, and then I re-geared, because I'm now on 35s, I re-geared to 456 with an ARB locker. So now I have locked axles front and rear. As far as the wheel and tire combo, I went with the AEV rims. I first originally had some 20-inch rims, and they were just awful. Knowing how much that I actually go off-road, I wanted a little bit more, not traction, but I wanted a little bit more cushion going to the road, so more rubber, less rim. Absolutely fantastic choice for me. I don't know if you can see it in there, they're a little dirty right now, but I do have the power stop disc brakes front and rear. They're drilled and slotted, and man, I do need to clean that. I just got back from a trip, but yeah, absolute craziness when it comes to stopping before overstock. When I added all of the bumper and just all this weight to the vehicle, that's an absolute essential thing to have when it comes to stopping your vehicle. I did change out my suspension over stock to the TerraFlex Alpine. This is on a 4-inch TerraFlex spring lift, and then looking underneath there, trying to find a good spot for you. It's a weld-on bracket system, but it is absolutely great. The clearance that I have now over what I had was, I mean, just a major improvement. They do have the stock ends on them. I don't have any kind of I have pretty good articulation, but I'm not a big boulder rock crawler, so these worked really well for me. Let's see. Oh, up top, I went with the Rhino rack backbone system. It is an expensive system, but I just really like the way that it looks. And I went with a Smittybilt Overlander tent for my wife and I when we go camping for, you know, quick weekends or whatever. There's a ton of room up there in that thing, and I think that was a pretty good choice. All right, move around to the back. All right, didn't really do a whole lot back here. Like I said, this is Smittybilt XRC rear bumper. I like that it had the integrated lights, but I wired those in, not switchable. I wired those into my reverse lights, just for a little bit more visibility when I'm backing up. I went with the 35-inch tires. We already talked about that with the AEV, but in order to accommodate that and the extra weight, I went with the TerraFlex heavy-duty tire carrier. This is the Alpha, and there are tons and tons and tons of accessories that you can get with that. I don't need it. I just like the fact that I had a little bit more weight that is not attached to the bumper, so I made sure that I wanted my tailgate to stay straight. That was a major change. All right, underneath you'll see that I have an ARB diff cover, but this is the stock Dana 44, the adjustable Falcon shocks in the rear as well. And then I have a Rugged Ridge dual exhaust. I just like the tone of it. It was really good. Over time, I probably got this about 4 years ago, but as you can see, I do a lot of water crossings, and it's a little bit of a rust buildup down there, so I'm probably going to have to replace that or repair that pretty darn soon. Okay, so we talked about most of the exterior things. There's another view of the top here. All right, stupid change, but I liked it. I got the stubby antenna because I didn't like the really tall antenna there. So let's move on to the inside. All right, so we're at the interior now. One of the major things you can see that I do a lot of, well, you don't know this, but I do a lot of overlanding adventures. One of the major things I did is I got this the Vector bar across the side with a couple of the 67 Designs carbon fiber arms. Super light, they're super sturdy. 100% positive review on that. It's got a mount for my GoPro, for my phone, and then this is my iPad I use for navigation and communication. I always carry a GMRS radio, and yes, I do have my GMRS license. So if you don't have one and you use it, make sure that you are, because there's those frequency channels you will get in trouble for it. So always carry good communications in multiple forms of communication. I also have a CB. It's a handheld, just in case, depending on who I'm going out on the trail with. It's always good to carry extras to share that. I do have a RC6 switch pod up top. Let's see if I can get you to there. That's my the lockers in the front and rear, or the actual air compressor, and then the front and rear lockers. And I've still got 3 more bays that are available. One of the next upgrades that I'm going to do to this vehicle is put the lighting around the roof rack to help to light up the campsite at night. So that's there. Okay, and in the rear, I built myself a drawer system. I didn't want to buy one. They're just really expensive. There's a whole video about that, so just make sure you watch that. But this little area is set up for my Yeti cooler, but it also allows me to retain the rear seats and everything else and keep it super comfortable. I did just put a simple cinch strap around the drawers, because especially the top one, if I accelerate too fast or I'm off camber or going vertical quite a bit, that top handle may tap into the glass, and I didn't want that to happen, so that's just there for a little bit of extra security. All right, so that wraps up the walk around of my 2015 Jeep Wrangler. If you have any questions about the build at all, be sure to use that comment section below. I'd be happy to get back to you and answer any of those questions. Be sure to subscribe, like, share. That would help me out tremendously. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get packed up and get ready for the next adventure. So I'll be seeing you on the trails.